So you've been now banned off what? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every single one of these things.
Over 100 platforms.
Over 100 platforms, all have banned you.
I'm the most banned person in the 21st century.
Has anybody ever banned at the level that you've been banned ever in the history of America?
No one. That's why they want me shut down. And they believe that if they can set the precedent to shut me down, then they can shut everybody else down. So that's why this is happening. What they're doing to everybody is wrong, is election meddling, and is censorship, and it's corporate racketeering.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I'm at the top of the food chain. They are attempting to shut everybody down now, and they're engaged in classical authoritarianism against free speech. If I don't commit to the truth and take this, they have no future. There's a very narrow window we've got for humanity. People think humanity just takes this stuff. No, the spirit of humanity manifests itself in resistance. And so that's what's happened. It's not about me. It's about what do we do to let them know we're still alive. As soon as we realize that this isn't just about blocking things they don't want heard today, it's about putting out prescribed ideas that if we don't regurgitate them, we get blocked. So it's a revolutionary thing to do. It's a human thing to do. If you know anything about real billionaires, and I know you do working in the city, they're all about control of thoughts. They're all about control of future developments and the trajectory of the arc of the masses. Because by guiding the masses, you ensure the financial future and your dominance political future by controlling it. They're bigger than the U.S. government. They're bigger than countries. They're bigger financially. They're bigger in data. If humanity submits, David Icke, where are we going if we submit? If they keep the dominoes going, if we don't stand up and say no, where does it go?
Well, it's the end of the human race. It's about total control. And in the world that we live in, where money is the basic foundation of the structure that this culture's created, money and the accumulation of money and stopping other people having access to it is a massive means to control the population. So yeah, they're full of greed and they're, full of everything evil, but the real reason for control of money is control of people. You see the same script all over the place. I have this phrase, know the outcome and you'll see the journey. Know where they want to take us, and then you'll see the stepping stones towards it every day. Once you know the outcome, you see the stepping stones. This is the trap that people are being led into. But if you look at any tyranny in history, it's never been overthrown by the majority. It's the minority that will not bow to it that bring it to an end, to a finish. And it's going to be the same now, because most of humanity will just go wherever society goes. How long is it going to take for enough people, and it won't be anything like half the population, nothing like, to bring this to an end? This force that's behind this global network, this global cult, wants to put a veil between 5 sense awareness and the greater self. That's its whole modus operandi. And then it can isolate us and program the perceptions of people, isolated consciousness, and they'll get them to do whatever they want. So that's where it's going. And this force is not all powerful. This force is a little boy in short trousers. What it has to do to control us, who are much more powerful than it, is to create a situation which can be described as, in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Because of its nature, because of its inversion, its chaos, its state, it is not all powerful. So what it has to do is to put humanity into a lower state of awareness than it's in. What's happened since the turn of 2020 has been prepared for decades and decades and decades. The people behind this are operating on a completely different level of knowledge and a completely different timeline, really, in the sense of, in the world of the population, people, see things a certain amount into the future, not very far. But this global cult, as I call it, they are working to a very different timeline with a very long projected future. So you've got the population going about their business. And the thing about the population from the cult's point of view, they have to be denied knowledge. They have to be denied knowledge about the nature of reality, so they don't understand how reality works, and therefore they're at the mercy of something they don't understand. And the other thing, of course, is that they mustn't be allowed to know what the agenda for them is, what this, where this is leading. So what you've got is a timeline in the world of the population that, you know, thinks about the middle of next week or the holiday next year, well, they used to. And then you've got this other world, which is this network of secret societies, which at its inner core, because it's all massively compartmentalized, only the relative few know the whole picture. They are planning, and have been planning, decades and decades and decades ahead. And because you've got this difference between knowledge and therefore possibility, not least technological possibility, you have had in this cult reality the knowledge of technology that was going to unfold in the future. And so when you then look at what Aldous Huxley wrote in Brave New World in 1932, that was published, and then you see what Orwell wrote in 1948, they were able not just describe the world that we're now in, but they were able to describe, not least Huxley, the kind of technology manipulation that we're now seeing also. And if you can tap into this other world by working your backside off for 30 years, you can at least get a massive amount of understanding of where the world's being taken. So all along, we have been led to this moment, and this other world has done the leading. And up to the turn of 2020, it's basically kept it under the radar. So they've been preparing and preparing on so many levels we can talk about up to the start of 2020. And then they went for it. You know, I've used this analogy before of, you know, you're in the pack in say a 3,000 meter race, 5,000 meter race. And then you come to the final lap or the back straight, and you go for it. You go for the line. And when you go for the line, you've got to get there. Because if people catch you up, they're probably going to go past you, and you're not going to win the race. And it's a race of controlling everything, not least technologically, before enough people have woken up and seen what the hell's going on. Now, we are making progress in that regard, nothing like as fast as I'd like to see it, but we are making progress in that way. And that's why, you know, we're working all hours we can to try to alert people to how these dots connect and what is actually going on. And it's not random, and it's all been planned a very long time. And, you know, you have Huxley talking about the creation of a new human that doesn't procreate. Well, that's what we're going into. He knew about that all the decades ago because it's long planned. And what happens is you've got this level of knowledge here, which is operating in the underground bases and the secret projects, that's got technology and has had technology way back that today, as it plays out, is considered cutting edge. But they knew about it way back because they've been preparing for this time technologically. And so when something plays out in the public arena, like AI, technological, smart technology that's about surveillance, about control, about getting microchips in the body and stuff, yeah, it comes out, oh, this is the latest thing. Well, it wasn't the latest thing for the cult, because the cult's had it for a very, very long time. That's how, you know, people known about the technology that was coming way before it actually came out. And the preparation has even got into the detail of preparing psychologically the people in authority and the people in law enforcement.